This is Boxing Tickets and I in association with SB Sports. We're here at the Taylor Cameron Public Workout. Delighted to be joined by the newly married man, Jason Quigley. When we last spoke, obviously, you know, it was your first fight back, obviously in quite a while in the National Stadium. You were saying the most important week of your life was coming up. Little did we know at that stage as well that obviously things were working behind the scenes on the Berlanga fight. I'm right in saying that obviously an offer was made prior to obviously your last fight in April, but I guess was it sort of it didn't suit, or was it just wrong timing that they came back with another offer?
Yeah, there was talks before the April 1st fight, but you know, I'm a very I don't like to look or take anybody for granted or look too far ahead, so I just told them, look, I have a fight coming up now and that's what I'm focusing on. And as soon as I won that fight and everything went well and came out injury free, they got back in touch and we were like, yeah, hell yeah, let's rock and roll now.
I think you were probably maybe lucky in a way, because I know that you didn't go full bore obviously on April 1st, because obviously you were getting married and you didn't want to spoil your good looks for the wedding, but in some ways it's probably done you a favour as well by getting married, because if you had a went for something you might have had a cut and you might have probably maybe lost the opportunity of obviously the Berlanga fight, so getting married has probably maybe turned out in a good thing for you.
Yeah, 100%. You know, boxing aside, getting married has turned out a great thing for me. But, you know, look, going the 10 rounds in my last fight, getting that fight fitness is crucial. You know, and it was a good workout. It was a good 10 rounds. Obviously, we had a lot of opponents fell through. You know, we had 2 opponents fell through, which was unfortunate. So we just had to make do with what was there, and we had to make the show happen. There was no way that we were going to let the show not happen. So it was important for the people who bought the tickets and spent their hard-earned money that we get a fight on the night, and we did. And it wasn't the opponent maybe that we wanted, but you know, I got in there and I did what I had to do and get the 10 rounds under my belt. Good workout, and it sets me up lovely now for June 24th. MSG boy, let's go.
Andy had obviously said in the build-up, obviously the April 1st, that obviously fights can happen very, very quickly. I guess the Berlanga fight's probably shown that things can happen. Is it probably, in your mind, are you sort of looking at it, and Berlanga's looking at maybe the Andrade fight, he's maybe looking at you being a bit more inactive in him? Is he maybe sort of looking at you probably in a wrong way and thinking you might be an easy touch?
If he is, it's a big mistake, you know. He hasn't boxed in nearly a year and a half now as well. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I have had a good 10 rounds under my belt there. And he's still rusty. He still hasn't, you know, fought in about nearly a year and a half, as I said. So it's going to be interesting what way he looks at it. But it doesn't matter what way he looks at it. Like, you know, I'm getting in there. I'm going to be 100% ready on the night, and I'm ready to take care of business.
Boxing, I guess, is a strange sport sometimes. When obviously we first spoke, you were saying you wish you could really go back and restart your sort of pro career because you were knocking people out rather than going rounds. But it's strange, you know, you have I know that you'd sort of, it wasn't forced time out with obviously John and everything else, you took your own time to come back, but they think it's like buses, you know, you wait long enough for one, another one comes at once. Paddy's the same, obviously. When we left April 1st in Dublin, we're going, when are we going to see him out again? He's landed here and he's on his feet. The gym's buzzing at the moment. Obviously Joe Parker, obviously back in Australia. You're obviously fighting out in New York. Paddy this week. Is it a great time for you to be back in the mix?
Yeah, 100%. You know, look, I'm the type of person, you know, we all kind of know what's right and we all kind of know what's wrong in life. You know, you listen to your gut and you know whether you should do this or you should do that. And I believe that if you try to be the best person that you can, go out every day and try to do as much good as you can, good things will come to you. Even when the things that you didn't expect or that you didn't want in life to happens, you know, you got to stay patient with the process, and you got to have faith in whatever God it is or universe, whatever it is that you believe in, and things will come good, you know, and that's the type of person that I am. That's the way that I believe and look at life. So, you know, I'm ready for this opportunity now. I believe it's come at the perfect time for me and the right time, so it's exciting.
Do you see this as, I know this obviously is not a final eliminator or anything out on the books, but do you see the Berlanga fight as being the winner is obviously pretty much in line to maybe fight Canelo when that obviously is? Do you sort of see it as an opportunity, or do you probably not try and look too far ahead of it?
Yeah, look, we all have a goal in life as well, do you know what I mean? And, you know, my goal is to be a world champion, and it's not as if I overlook fighters to get there. Like, you have to have an end goal, and mine is to be a world champion, but right now Berlanga is the obstacle in the way, and I plan on taking him out of there now in June 24th. So we take care of business and then we move on then after that. But yeah, winning this fight, you know, sets up all sorts then after that.
I'm not sure if you're obviously aware, you've obviously maybe seen since, but obviously Paddy McCrory was always in line for Berlanga as well. I think when I was coming down to the National Stadium, he was accepting the fight. So when I woke up, obviously, when I sort of woke up the next day and I was sort of going, what's going on? It was sort of as if it came from nowhere. Were you aware that maybe Paddy was in the mix for that, or were you obviously just aware of the offers coming for you?
To be honest, I think I heard something about McCrory and Berlanga, a possibility later in the year or something like that there, but no, I hadn't a clue that he was in for this maybe supposed date, or I didn't know what was going on there. But yeah, then they were in touch with me. They were in touch with me, as I say, a good couple of weeks before my last fight as well. But yeah, then it all came out then about Paddy fighting him and stuff like that. So it's great. It's great for Paddy to be in the mix as well, and to be up there now. He deserves it after his last couple of wins.
Obviously, I know nobody ever would like to look too far ahead, but obviously Paddy's out next week. Obviously, you fight Berlanga. There maybe could be a sort of that can maybe. Both of these obviously won, that could then maybe looked at as a final eliminator, because let's face it, to fight Canelo, it's a lottery at times. I know you were close to it before, but they obviously did get there with the belt mix and everything else into it. I know obviously the Bivol fight, they're now looking at the WBC saying they're not sanctioned Bivol, so there might even be a chance that WBC belt becomes vacant. We just don't know with boxing nowadays. Do you sort of look at it and go, this could happen, it's like a crystal maze?
Yeah, you can't look at things and try and plan things out in boxing. You have to just concentrate on yourself and one day at a time and make sure everything falls into place for you, because there's so much happening, there's so much movement going on in boxing. And as you says, 1 minute McCrory's meant to be fighting Berlanga, then it's announced that I'm fighting him. So you can never set yourself in stone with boxing, so you just got to be prepared for whatever.
Obviously, just want to touch finally on, I know that the next show was planned for obviously Elite and shared obviously, and I think they were looking at maybe June, July as outdoor, but obviously you fighting in America now, is that sort of put ahead to that show, that maybe another show may announced somewhere else, or is the plan still maybe to go with an outdoor venue? I think it was July, wasn't it, start of July?
Yeah, we're looking maybe July, August time now for an outdoor show, and that's going to be the plan. And who knows, I get Berlanga out of there in a round or two, I could be ready to rock and roll in.
It's one of them things, isn't it? I guess the plan was for you to obviously headline outdoors there, and obviously now that's changed, but I guess just over 5 weeks to go, and you'll obviously know your sort of fate. When do you head out to America then to finish off camp?
We'll head out probably a week or 10 days before the fight, but we'll have everything ready to rock and roll. We're good to go.
Thanks very much for your time as always, and we'll catch you soon.
Cheers, boy. Thanks very much.